2022. I was part of this exercise and was said to have lost the election. As I had earlier stated in the press statement made before 28th of May, I had disclosed a closed-door meeting with the APC chairman of my state, Mala Abdullahi Bello, whose nickname is Dollar, at the instance of my state governor, Yaya Doza Bello, who has suggested that I should not contest the election, but rather join hands with them for the realization of the projects of GYB, Governor Yaya Doza Bello, to President Yaya Doza Bello. It is to the knowledge of my constituents and Nigerians at large that I have remained committed to this project and have not for once minced words about it. However, the condition of my stepping aside was to take a position which was technocratic in nature when my governor eventually emerged as president. And this did not align with my personal goals and aspirations as a journalist and as a social crusader. What was the post? I was asked not to contest this election because they want me to be the chief of staff of Yaya Doza Bello when he becomes president. And then I told them, as a journalist, I'm not wired as a technocrat. I cannot be a chief of staff. I'm a social crusader. I'm an agitator. I'm a journalist. And my interest is to know that to bolster this and to reinforce my position on some of these basic principles, I'm a final year law student. So I cannot be a technocrat. I cannot be somebody who will be carrying fires. I'm not trained that way. So I immediately said it will not work. And more importantly, I saw it as an insult for anybody to ask me not to exercise my democratic right, not to contest election. It might interest you to know that myself and Yusuf Ali, who is the present regional editor of the Nation newspaper, we were arrested together when I was chairman Kogi NUJ, and Yusuf Ali was Kwara NUJ, and Yusuf Ali was secretary of NUJ in Kwara State. During the struggle of Nadeko and other and Dakwalo, Yomi and Co., we were arrested because we were giving backing, support for the crusade, for the enthronement of democracy today. So for anybody to ask me not to contest election, I think the person has forgotten my history. And let me tell you this, that though quite a number of people are enjoying democracy today, they forget that the journalists played a critical role in the enthronement of democracy. I was not on the forefront, but I was equally not at the back bench of those who were fighting for the enthronement of democracy. So for anybody who probably was nowhere at that time to tell me not to contest election, I think that was an insult to my antecedents and my background as a journalist. So that was what I told Abdullahi Bello, the chairman of the party. Now whoever told you to ask me not to contest, he said no. Even my colleague from Central was asked not to take form. And Yakubu was saying he didn't take form out of fear. And I said, as a journalist, we were in the forefront of the enthronement of democracy. Why would I not contest election? It's to be an insult to my profession. So I went ahead to contest that election. I immediately informed Abdullahi unambiguously that my training as a journalist will not permit me to aspire to this role, and as such, there was the need to fine-tune things to accommodate everyone. The meeting ended inconclusively. Thereafter, events metamorphosed into threats, and I must confess to you that I went ahead to contest the election in spite and despite the threats and the warning that I should not. After due consideration and deliberation with my seniors, friends, constituents, and counterparts, who are integral members of our great party, I headed their call, summoned courage, and participated in the primary elections. Let me state clear here, without any cause of doubt, that the election which took place on the 22nd of May 2022 in Kogi State were neither free nor fair. It is on record that the list of delegates was changed 24 hours to the elections paper. Furthermore, that individuals who are not from Kogi West were brought in to vote under extremely hostile environment with militants, armed men, and unidentified thugs in their numbers. This was apart from the authorized security agents who were present to observe the events and ensure law and order. Very crucial is the fact that the returning officer, listen to this, the returning officer of the election that I participated in. His name is Bashir Abubakar Jegu. He is presently the commissioner of solid minerals, who had, in Kogi State, who had once aspired to run for the same office, and is a sitting commissioner in the state. As soon as he was announced as the returning officer, my ward, Yara Ward, wrote a formal letter to protest his nomination, as it would have been impossible for him to be fair and just for a free and fair election. On the day of the election, Jegu personally compelled people to vote in his own choice, with most of the commissioner present and chairmen of all the 7 local governments that constitute Kogi West were all present inside the hall, which is contrary to the electoral law, because they are not delegates, but they were there to participate, telling delegates that they must vote or they must claim not to be able to write. So their card was given to the returning officer, who was writing the name of the government candidate, and that was how Sunday Karimi emerged as the candidate. So they just wrote the figures, and in order to preempt my going to court or fighting this cause, they deliberately placed me at the 3rd position. It was only an insignificant few who had the courage to vote their respective choices, regardless of the gross and unpalatable threat. Those present will attest to the fact that I departed the venue as quickly as I observed what was going on, and even before counting of the adulterated votes commenced, I went out telling my agent to walk out of the hall, because all those who were not supposed to be there were there. All the commissioners were there, all the local government chairmen were inside the hall, including political appointees in their numbers were there. As soon as you come in as a delegate, they tell you, give your card to a social person, or else you'll be dealt with. So this is what happened, and not only in Kogi State, this is how quite a number of these governors enforce candidates on Nigerians. Now, those present, to this effect, a formal petition has been filed at the APC Secretarial, giving full account of the event that took place. This we have done for record purposes and for posterity. The accusation that I have stepped on toes by my position on contemporary national issues constitute a major part of my many offenses. Let me tell you that my Bible tells me, it says, hell shall be portion of liars. Before the election, 2 very senior senators called me and said that they were told I step on toes in my presentation on insecurity in Nigeria, that I've stepped on toes, that I didn't give credit to Kogi State in particular, that they have policed the state well, and that I spoke on quite a number of national issues that was embarrassment to some people in government. Let me state here without any sort of contradiction, I cannot change at this age. What I believe in, I cannot change. I believe in a society where everybody will be catered for by the government. I believe in a society where every Nigerian will be proud to be a Nigerian. I believe in a Nigeria where there will be no tribalism, nepotism, or corruption. I believe in a country where all of us will have access to the good things of life. So I cannot change at this age. If the hands of times are turned, I will stand in the same position, speak my mind and the minds of the common man on the street, and project all those values which I believe in. My antecedent as a journalist speaks for me. I am a highly courageous person. I don't fear people, I respect people. But let me tell you this, that I was told by quite a number of people that I step on toes for speaking the truth and for standing on behalf of Nigerian people. I am not going to change because of that. I will continue to do that, whether I'm in the chamber or I'm not in the chamber. Based on quite a number of reactions from Nigerians, and particularly my friends, I want to say that I have no regret in supporting and standing for the Kogi State government at all times. I have no regret, it might interest you, in supporting Yaya Dozabelo. He is the governor of my state. Notwithstanding what they have done, I still believe in my government. I still believe that I have a responsibility as a citizen of Nigeria and as an individual of Kogi to support my government and to support the governor. So those who are asking me, with all your support for your governor, see what happened to you. I have no regrets. I have played my role as a loyal person, as a party man. I have not betrayed the cause. So those who have betrayed the cause is them and God. No regret for supporting my governor. No regret for supporting my party. And I still remain in APC. Let me call on all my supporters that we should remain in APC. If you leave the APC, and I want to appeal to my colleagues in the Senate who have abandoned the APC, it's uncalled for. It's still the same people you are meeting there. The same perception of reasoning. People do not have our own kind of a background. I came from one of the best professions on earth. Journalism, which exposes you to the whole world, which erases sentiment in your mind, which makes you to believe the Hausa man is your brother, the Robo man is your friend, the Fulani man is your brother. Let me now say this, what happened to you, which I never thought would happen in the history of politics in Nigeria. Normally, we give some support for delegates to augment their expenses, accommodation, transport, feeding, and all kind of things. But don't ask me how much. You know, so a particular local government, which is predominantly Islam-based local government, they were not allowed to vote for me because the returning officer, Abubakar Jegu, who is from that local government, equally a Muslim, they supported Sunday Karimi, who is from a neighboring federal constituency to my own. Now, what happened? This local government in particular is called Kotokarufi local government. A week after the election, 5 of them came to Abuja. And guess what? They are all Muslims. And they said to me, in Islam, it is haram to take what does not belong to you. So, Senator, the money you gave for feeding, accommodation, transport to support us, we have returned all your money because we are not allowed to vote for you. But you are our candidate. And you know what? They busted into tears that they have been denied. But please take our photograph for record purposes and for the future. If you expose us, they may kill us. But this is your money. So I look at them, I said, you have endeared Islam to my heart. I'm a Christian. But I have not found this kind of faith even among my Christian brothers. You return the money, please go with this money. I have blessed this money for you. They started crying, and I assured them, next year, the 5 of you, I will send you to Mecca. If your faith in Islam is like this, then you have made me to respect Islam the more. I have sponsored not less than 400 Muslims to Mecca. But for 5 Muslims to return the money I gave to them back to me and say it is haram, I was moved emotionally. I never knew we still have Nigerians like that. They returned money. They said we were denied to vote for you. And you pay for our feeding, you pay for our accommodation. You gave us money for transport. I took their pictures. I can show it to some of you. They said, we will not take this money. Not even the bank wrapper was touched. These 5 Muslims came back with the money for their local government and said, we were denied. They told us not to vote for you because you step on toes. What is the main toes that I've stepped on? The fear is that if I continue in the Senate, I'll be too strong in 2023 to run for governorship election. And there was the need for to crumble me. But tomorrow is in the hand of God. Yes. The Bible tells me once has God spoken, twice have I heard that power belongs to God. In Islam, they say, Qadar Allah haka qadri. What God will do, no man can stop it. And when you stop the move of God, God can sacrifice you for it. I have nothing against those who have worked against me. No bitterness, because there's none of those who are the political actors today that I don't know. And they know what I stand for. Today, you may be a man of integrity, you may not be appreciated. But under dispensation will come, they will look for men and honor of integrity. Yeah. They look at men who stood when it was tough. You cannot be killing people in Nigeria and I will keep quiet. Nigeria cannot be going in hunger and I will keep quiet. We cannot be importing fuel when we have crude oil, I should keep quiet. We cannot be importing steel when we have a steel complex, I should keep quiet. If that is why I'm being stopped, alhamdulillah, I thank God that I'm being stopped. I'm being stopped not because I'm not popular, not just within my state and outside my state. I'm popular for what I stand for. I want every Nigerian to be comfortable, to be free and fair and less of fear. That's what I stand for. And those who are against me should not forget that my background as a journalist will not make me to see what is going on and keep quiet. It is in my blood. And I don't pretend about it. It was not by accident that I became the national president of NUJ and I served 2 terms. My second term I was elected unopposed in Badagry. And I can tell you that at that time, we have Democrats who believe in journalism. And one of them, Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, he assisted the media a great deal. I have not commenced campaigning for Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu. I'm only telling you that I still remember those who stood by us when we were in journalism. And up to today, those are the people I have my respect for. Those who believe in the norms, the tenets of democracy. So you have a responsibility, my colleagues, as we move towards a new dispensation, a new government at all levels. Let us open our eyes and look at those who will move Nigeria to a higher level, not on the basis of tribe or religion or any sentiment, because the bandits and terrorists who are killing people, they did not ask you whether you're a Christian or a Muslim before they shoot you. They kill people irrespective of religion or tribe. So we must make this country a better place. We must improve upon the foundation, the achievement. It will be wrong to say that this government have not achieved anything. It will be wrong to say that. But the greatest threat to all the achievement of this government was the insecurity that we are confronted with. Those are the issues people accuse me of, that I spoke dispassionately without bearing in mind that I am a member of a political party. My being a APC should not stop me from speaking the truth. I will not say because I'm an APC, people are dying and I should keep quiet. You know, I should not do that. Once again, I stand by my party. I remain in the APC. I have no regret supporting Yaya Dozabelo, who is from a neighboring community. Okene is just about 30 minutes to my place. So I have no regret. Whether my support, like my colleagues were asking me, was appreciated, is for God to judge that. But what is important for me to do is what I have done. And I continue to do that till the last day of my being here in the National Assembly. Tomorrow is in the hand of God. Nobody will know who will occupy the position tomorrow. So I'm not bothered. I'm a man of faith, and I believe in faith, and I came this far by faith in God. So nobody can determine anybody's future, because tomorrow is in the hand of God. The details of all that I've said is some of them are contained here, and I just feel I should just speak on camera so that you can hear me talk, and to know that I didn't lose the election. The election, I reject the election in all its entirety. The election was rigged. It was manipulated. How can you bring a commissioner who had interest in contesting that election, a city commissioner, despite the fact that I've been told not to contest? That commissioner was now asked to be the returning officer. He was now telling people who to vote for. Not only that, they told all the delegates, you must say you cannot vote. You don't know how to write. So they were writing for them. I've sent my petition, and I will back it up with video clips. I've sent my petition to the National Secretary of APC. Not that I'm thinking that it is quite very possible, but I want it to be on record what has been done. And you saw some of my colleagues who decamped. I was not here, I will have begged them not to decamp. Decamping is not the issue. The Yoruba says, Ibi to ba le la bo omokunrin. When the situation is tough, the tougher the person gets going. You don't run away from trouble. You conquer trouble. So for me, the Bible tells me, like David says, blessed be God who teaches my hand into warfare. I'm not afraid of people. I respect people. I can be doggedly submissive to someone. But let me tell you, my simplicity is not out of fear. There are people who have told me, Smart, you are not too gentle. And I smile. It is not out of fear, because at times, age has a way of cooling you down. That is the truth. But make no mistake that I'm afraid to go into warfare. I have no reason to deny any action or trances I have made. Before I speak, I meditate. I don't just come here to speak to you. I meditate over every word that proceeded out of my mouth. I don't fear people. I respect people. And when I take position, I don't care what you're going to do. Yaya Dozabelo gave me support. When I was at the lowest ebb of my life, when my wife died, he stood by me. And that's one of the most painful periods of the life of any man. So I owe him all the support I give to him. And I have no regret supporting Yaya Dozabelo. No regret. Whether what he has done, like my colleagues were asking me, was it justifiable? I said it's for God to judge that. Whether you're a Christian or you're a Muslim, you have conscience. There's no religion anywhere. Your religion is your conscience, your heart. Are you fair and just to the other person? Assalamu alaikum.